If you are making a scary game, you might like to create a monster which only scents the player from the scent and doesn't see, like this one. So it does feel my scent, goes there when the scent wears off, tries to follow me again, like where the scent is. So if I'm careful, I can just be on the run. But if these little ones do not let me navigate, it might eventually be able to come to me. As you can see, it find me out. If I do not go fast enough, it will eventually get at me. But if I do run fast and stay here for some time and realize, oh whoa, the monster might be coming, so let's go, I can start moving. But the monster, when the scent wears off where it was before, starts moving again and goes to a new place which has the highest amount of scent around it. And then it will be on my heels again. So if these little things do not let me run effectively, it can actually get at me. If I increase the number of those, like followers, let me increase this, then it can get really bad. And how am I doing this? I'm using an influence map. An influence map is basically a map in the world which says where my scent is, where the scent is colored green, and where there is more scent, it will be more green. And as you can see, over time, the greens are turning to white, which means the scent is being lost. And the monster only follows the scent and tries to find a cell with the maximum scent value around itself. Actually, the code for it is pretty simple. If you look at it, scent follower just gets the scent map and then tries to get the value at the current position of itself, and if the value, which is between 0 and 1, is less than 0.5, so there is not much scent of the player there, then it tries to search for the highest value, but between those, like if it finds 1, it will find the closest one and moves to it. And that's all there is for the monster code. And what the player does, first of all, we have a map called the scent map, which is basically a map that players and anything else which has a scent can store its scent in it. And you can see its dimensions here. It's 60 by 60 meters. The cell size is 1 meters. You can have more accuracy if you need it. And these are the debug colors, as you can see, and the debug position of the cubes. And it also supports visual logger. And then the player uses this map by having an influencer agent component which put the influence on the map. So the difference with the normal influence map that you had before is that you have to check this one, so when moving it doesn't remove its influence, and this one basically, and also then check this one so it adds its influence even when it's stationary and not moving. So because the map decays, the scent map, basically you add your stuff to it and it has a component, your scent to it, and it has a new component, influence map decay, which basically decays the value of the map once, like 4 times a second, once in a quarter of a second, and it decays it by 0.1. So if something has a value of 1, after basically 2.5 seconds it will be 0, unless the player goes there again. And that's if only the player has the scent. If I wanted, I could give this scent to these small followers as well. And because the scent is different from the threat of the player, it will have a different curve. This is the curve for the scent, and this one is the threat which the monster, the small followers, use. And also the template for the scent is only 3 meters in radius with this curve, but the curve for the threat, basically the template is bigger. and uses 5 meters. But that's all I needed to do. I do not have any behavior in the monster which says, okay, let's be weighting more here. It just tries to find somewhere with a high amount of scent. When I do this, I will have scent there, so it finds somewhere with scent. And unless the current place has a value of less than 0.5, it will not move. So it means it will be slow because it has to wait for the map to wear off, the scent to wear off. But then it will chooses the highest position it found, so it can come to me directly, and the search radius is like 30 meters, so it will always find me. And if it had some damage code, it could delete at this moment. Waits for this to wear off. Might not be able to come through this actually, so let us. Yeah. So that's it. You can easily have scent maps and ice and fire, which I'll show in another video using these new components and features of Wise Feline Influence Map, which is linked below.